you today? What is today? I don't know. Today's Wednesday, the 12th, I think, or 11th. Man, this is 111. Well, I was waiting on 11:11. Nothing happened. I was waiting, subtle changes, I guess. Well, good morning, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I've had a chance in the last couple of weeks to talk to a lot of you, and it's just overwhelmingly pleasurable to get the hugs and the love from all of you guys. So I thank you very much. Great site here. Everybody's doing well on it. Going to take a couple minutes, unfortunately, so most of you close your ears. But I have to address this situation with Syntron. And Syntron, you have to unplug yourself from my site for a while until you come back to us, because you've taken the intellectual path and gotten off on a tangent here. And yesterday I talked to one of my clients who's a YouTuber who is dealing with brain cancer, and she was listening to you and started eating eggs. I can't have that. You have to understand that. I can't have that. This is Detoxification Channel. And if you've got cancer, you don't eat eggs or dead animals. So, Syntron, you have to get away from me for a little while until you get the understanding of the raw and our focus, because you're really now totally different than our focus. And we love you, man, but got to break your link from us for a little while until you go through your path, and you'll find the path. It's okay. It's a winding path, and it'll wind right back to this paved gold road to Wellville. And you're just sidetracking right now. Typical David Wolf took off. People are taking off on the side when they don't have maturity and experience in this field. I have 40 years of maturity and experience in this field. I've been through your thinking. I've been through every kind of thinking you can imagine. I've been through atheist thinking. I've been through Christian thinking. I've been through Buddhist thinking. I've been through all the thinking there is, probably. And it's, and now we're the teachers. And in this level of understanding of health and spirituality, one has to start getting rid of the decayed flesh and observe proper food combinations, get away from the eggs and things. But this is especially true when you're detoxifying and you have cancer. You do not walk on that road whatsoever. That road that Brandon's talking about, you'll never come back from it. Cancer is very serious, not as a disease, but is in the level of acidosis and lymph stagnation that you're involved in. So very serious that those that have cancer get way up on raw. If you're diagnosed with the word cancer, that in our terminology, that's a very backed up acidic body, lymphatically speaking. You have to get all raw and then really dig into some fasting. This is a very serious issue. And going back to the caveman thinking of meats, no, thank you. It's not in the order of how you get well. Okay, so I appreciate it. Everybody can go their paths, but this channel is pure, clean, and mean. And we have healing to do. And you don't eat dead animals, and you don't eat eggs, and you don't eat some of these cooked foods when you're sick, and your life is in your physical existence is suffering or in your hands. And if you're in pain and you're going to eat meat or eggs, enjoy your pain, because you'll never get rid of it. That's with a pharmaceutical. So there's just certain things that and I understand people going on those sites, okay with me, but we've got to keep our site pure. If you want to unplug for a while and go down another road, we'd love you always. Now, I want to get, because I've got a lot of questions, and I've been so busy. I'm moving, and it's just a lot of things going on, so I've been moving some big trees. There's only one person I've met like me. There's a lot of us out here, but Mutt Lang is another friend of mine who loves to move big trees. I mean, Mutt will plant big trees out in the barren desert. All right, so let's go over some of these things there. Micmac Goddess? Is that a picture of you, sweetheart? Pretty picture. Let me see here. What was that guy's name that had chronic migraine? Had been in intercapable migraine pain since 2-2, gearing up to try 6 months to a year. Heard it took 6 months to clean up, but 3 months, so cool, gives me hope. Yeah, I mean, I was telling you, I had an Amish healer. He was an elder, and such a great guy. What a great guy. And he just passed here last year. I think he was around 95, but he had chronic migraines for 45 years straight. Traveled the world and tried everything under the sun. I had it gone within 2 months, I think, at the most, maybe 3, but I think it was around 2. All those years this poor man suffered. He did over 100 chelation therapies with no avail, and I forget how many. That was he spent $150,000 or something trying to alleviate headaches. Can you imagine having a headache every day for 45 years? I'd probably just shoot myself and get it over with. Oh, man. But yeah, I mean, there isn't anything you can't name, you can't cure. And I'm going to use the cure word not in the sense in reference to diseases, but as in the form of a remedy, a form of not having what you've had before in terms of dis-ease. This is C1SCOM. Hi, what do I start? I would like to gain some muscle, but I don't know what to eat. I left coffee and dairy products to start okay. I changed that for oats, and oats, no, chia seed, okay. But don't know what else I can eat. That little change, by the way, helped me a lot. Good deal. But oats are absolutely. I'm surviving, you know. Well, I tell you what, pump on some green drinks. Alfalfa is a cheap supplement. Just suck down the alfalfa tablets. Shakti is a good alfalfa, but you can get alfalfa tablets about anywhere. But pump on some green drinks. You know, build yourself up with some green drinks. But make sure, you know, if you're here's the catch-22 for all of you guys out there that are very thin, that have malabsorption. You must correct malabsorption or digestive problems before you're going to put on adequate muscle. You can't force the body to put on muscle. You have to get proper absorption, and then you don't have to worry about putting on muscle. The body will do it itself. But you must have digestion, you must have absorption, and remember our third thing is utilization. This is why if you look at what the body needs to be healthy, digestion, absorption, utilization, hormones and steroids, and then elimination, not just of digestive waste, of cellular waste. And you know that's the focus you have to have. Those 4 things are obvious. Those are simplistic and obvious that one has to do. You can't expect to be real thin and then suddenly put on muscle by eating a few raw foods, green drinks, and pumping some herbs. You got some work to do behind yourself. You got to fix this malabsorption. If you have pancreatic problems, definitely get into the pancreatic herbs. Fix your pancreas. Fix that up. Then you'll be able to put on good muscle. But there's work to do to get to that, because there's a reason why you don't have that. And you have to look at malabsorption, acidosis, and the breaking down of tissues and muscle tissues and things like this, and all that we've been talking about on this site here. So don't get frustrated. Just get mean focused, put on the robe, and ride down the road. I mean, that's all you can do. There's nothing else out there. So be patient, be focused, be happy in the moment. It doesn't matter. It's just a body. Be you. Get more you, more awake, more aware. Stop thinking. Stop planning. Stop desiring. You know, your desires bind you to the object of your desires. And if you want to be bonded, chained to a desire, go ahead. But you'll be locked there until you choose to go, okay, I'll let go of that, and I'm going. That's how simple it is. You just shift your attention from one level of activity to another. Yes. Hey, Whit. How you doing? Jennifer's got him. Take care of him.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Let me see here. But if it thinks to my body into a more alkaline, you have to. And no, I don't have to forgive you for your English, because it doesn't matter, man. It's not verbalage that binds us. This is the MZIMMER Man 12. Ooh, Mango Mark here. Hey, Mango Mark. Could you mention in one of your videos about the so-called autoimmune diseases, myasthenia gravis? Dan the Man posted a video where a lady cured herself of it on raw foods juicing, and so it has created some excitement with a friend of mine. Well, it should. I mean, that's easy to cure. I mean, again, you're going back to the lymph system and acidosis. There's no such thing as autoimmune diseases. This is just simply a, I don't know what's causing this, but we're going to call it autoimmune. I mean, autoimmune, the whole idea of autoimmune is just ridiculous. And it sidesteps the truth and reality of, one, how the body works, two, about the lymph system, three, about acidosis and that effect upon cells. Be it muscle, be it bone, be it liver, be it kidney, it does not matter the location. Because I can tell you, when your lymph system's backed up in one place, you can pretty much guess it's backed up all through you. Some places more than others, and particularly your weakest areas. Jensen and I had lots of talks. He'd come stay with me at my house here in Florida, and we've had long talks about that. And he always noticed that in the weaker tissues in the eye, that there was always a compromised blood and lymph flow in those areas, which makes sense. The weaker areas that are not able to support the function of the body as well as it should. And so you got to go in and wake those weaker areas up. Well, how do you wake something up? You can throw a bucket of water on it. Well, we're throwing a bucket of base chemistry on it, plus we're hooking up the electricity to it. Wham! Because that's what raw foods are. They're electrical, they're alive, they're powerful. I mean, you don't cook foods and find electricity. So this is how you wake up the dead in health, is you start eating live foods, not dead foods. You can't expect to be healthy eating dead stuff. Dead animals? Come on, Brandon, give me a break. I mean, that's for those are meat eater wannabes. Okay, I can find a reason for everything too. I can find a rationale for everything that I do, I suppose. Doesn't have to mean that it's based in truth. If we went back and everything we've done is right, then we should keep doing what we're doing, right? Don't think so. I know it can lump it in there. There are neuromuscular problems, but I think it helps for people to hear these diseases called by name. I know it's true, but we can't treat those diseases by name because that would be against what would it be against? Well, let's say the AMA. They're walking on a razor blade. They're lucky they're not yanked into court. The whole modality, American Medical Association, and sued the pants off of them for all that their tricks and what they've done and the level of killing that this field does. This modality has to be changed. The day of the AMA is just about over. We have to have radical changes. The word to the AMA, get homeopathic. Get something that doesn't hurt people. Wake up to truth and reality and the basics of how the body works, and get rid of these old antiquated theories that you keep pulling around. Jenner Pasteur theory of the germ, you're pulling that around like you're pulling a Mack truck with a chain on your shoulder. I mean, you're hurting so many people with those kind of stupid ideas and the autoimmune concepts. Oh my God, I want to puke when a medical doctor says that. It just shows how stupid that person is. No offense, but we don't have time to keep playing these ridiculous games. No offense, but we don't have time to keep playing these ridiculous games. I guess it is associated with tumors of the thymus? Not necessarily. Cells and two fluids. Absolutely, Mango. Give me a big mango, Mark. I could use one of those big mangoes again. My God. Which sometimes get removed. Anyway, I don't need an explanation, but would love to pass a video along from you. Thank you, Mango Mark. UC Endo this. Dear Dr. Morris, my son just turned 32 and is losing a lot of hair for his age. You see this a lot. I mean, you just look around and look at the young men that are losing all their hair. Well, but does that make sense then if that we're talking about genetics in kidneys and adrenals, and therefore you're seeing all the lymphatic problems? Oh, yes. I mean, these young people, their lymph systems are much worse than our generations by far. We're seeing very serious lymphatic problems, unfortunately. So your son's got to really plug into this, understand the role of the kidneys and the adrenal glands, start getting his lymph drained, and by the way, fix up the colon because of the head area issues and get that hair back. Because you're going to see dementia, Alzheimer's, you're going to see nursing homes have younger and younger people in them. And it's sad when you see a 30 or a 40-year-old in a nursing home because they can't remember who they are or where they parked the car. And this is a problem that we're going to be facing if we're not careful, because at 32 and no hair, not good. And you're seeing it in the 20-year-olds. I get a lot of those. Also, he had his very infected tonsils. Huh, any relationship there? See what I'm saying? I mean, you're very lymphatic up here. These are just lymph nodes telling you, wait a minute, full, and the road's blocked down below. I can't go anywhere. Kidneys and adrenals. And get those lymphs moving, man. The bowels cleaned up and clean all that out. Not much left of them. Well, they'll grow back. If you can get everybody cleaned out and you got some tonsil left, those tonsils will grow back. Oh, we moved 3 months ago. Oh, well, we have heard of third sets coming in there, or second sets coming in there, absolutely. Had a guy with his third set. I was telling him and my husband about changing to your recommended diet to regrow hair. They both think I'm nuts. Well, love Lisa. Honey, they're the ones, I know, they're the ones that are not. You keep going with that. Absolutely, you can grow hair. You want to use upper circulation to help that, but you want to move lymph because this young man's in trouble lymphatically in his head area and just doesn't realize it yet. The eyes will start going on him. You're just going down the line here, and that's just not, I mean, if that's what you want, but that's not acceptable to me at all. So my wife's ex is being naughty by going outside the house to get fresh, cold air. You must be talking to somebody here. Anyway, is refusing pharma painkillers. Is there any advice on pain relief and insomnia, Doc? I want to give him Baswana and Baswella or something for inflammation and a right cross for the for the sleeping. Daniel, now that I know you're a man, I tell you what, give him the right cross, and then when he wakes up, that'll kill the pain for a while. You know what, you can use all the different herbs, and to do that, we have the antispasmodic that works. Some people use the antispasmodic with our painkiller, but our painkiller is only for like medium at best pain. You get too much pain, but it will take some of it off, and if you can use like valerian or painkillers or some kind of herbal painkillers and maybe an antispasmodic, that would work real well. And then, of course, open him up and pour in the base chemistry, man, while he's out. Oh, you guys are funny. I love it. I would like to hear more about astral travel. Oh, cool place. I have been trying to work on doing it. Oh, I know from the Ringling Cedar series, often traveled to many places on Earth and to other planets as well. You know, astral actually is the next level, or can I use the word heaven or whatever you would wish to, or realm or dimension, however you wish to view where you go when you leave this. You know, this is what a lot of people are afraid of, unfortunately, because our focus in man is so materialistic that we've engrossed our consciousness here, and it's like trying to pull it out to go, oh, shoo, you know, like popping a cork in a wine bottle. Oh, thanks. And that's how sometimes it is when you leave the body. It's a pop like a cork bottle. But still, you know, pulling your attention out of the morass of materiality, you know, and starting to clear your eyes and go, oh, yeah, oh, wow, whole nother world here. And basically, you know, you've got travel into these finer... sometimes you get the impression they're stacked on top of each other, but actually they're all interwoven together. And so it's just the frequency a little finer than this one. You look at people, and some people see auric factors and others don't. And it's just, you can train yourself. And it's like those pictures you see, and they've got all these different either dots or whatever, but when you get to really kind of looking at them in a certain angle, not really looking at the dots, but sitting back kind of in a disinterested way, you start to see the figures and how they design that painting or drawing, or how they fix that up. Well, basically that's what you're doing. Same thing with learning how to view subliminal advertising. You look on these women with bikinis, and they've got these, either the perfumes or the skin products and stuff, and if you will you'll start to look, you will see sex written all over the body of the female. You'll see all kinds of words written where you can't see it if you're just looking at the female, but if you get back and you unfocus, you'll see more. And that same thing happens when you're trying to understand God, is you unfocus from that which is limited and you start being that which is unlimited. And that only happens in the present moment, in the now. You step out of the now, then you're walking into the mind, and the mind now thinks dualistically. Now the mind, being in creation, now operates from duality. You don't, but your mind has to have activity and drama, and to have creation the way it is, and to have me and you as separate entities. In reality, there's no difference than you and I. We're all the same. But you have to develop spiritually, and you notice those that develop spiritually start feeling, seeing a oneness between all life. And it's between the plants and the animals that we know we're connected. We're more than connected. And so it's just, that's the mark of a spiritually growing or awakening soul. And then it keeps going. It keeps going, and more awake and more understanding of the oneness of things. The further away from God, the more isolated and separate you see things. Let's see, comment on the important message of leukemia. Her mind is going. She needs 24/7 care. This weekend she fell and had hip replacement surgery yesterday. JG, God, what a beautiful picture, JG. Where'd you get that, man? That's cool as all get out. Right through that hole is God. All these other areas are the worlds that flow around it. I love it. Good. God, wow, beautiful. And this is the kind of art that in Eckankar we used to see all the time. The artists that traveled within these beautiful, gorgeous heavens of God would bring back some of these gorgeous pictures and paint them. That's art. That's electric art. And you'd get a buzz just sitting there looking at the painting, because he was buzzed. It was a higher consciousness experience, and so that came out in the painting, and you sit there and you picked up on that. Just beautiful stuff. I love this kind of art. This weekend, let me see here, she had told us many times that she just wants to die, but her lifestyle was typical of the post-World War II generation, and she had an enjoyment, pain-free life up to 88. Yeah, I don't know what to say. 88 years old, give it to me, juice me, I'm out of here, or learn how to travel consciously out of the body. That's all I can say. My journey 444. Yeah, I love you too, honey. Thank you, by the way. Organic Heart, thank you too, sweetheart. Love you too. Thanks for all your great comments. And Kelly girl, keep on going, girl. I'm proud of you. Some Dr. Tom Wu taking his juicing course. Yeah, Wu's good. Kathy went to his course. He did some good stuff there. And said that eating bananas creates dampness in the mind. Well, I don't really go with all the Chinese view of hot and cold and dampness and all that. I just don't, I'm an acid alkaline kind of guy, but I'm definitely a frugivorish kind of thinker. So, I don't really get caught up into the dampness and the chi lines and stuff like that, honestly, because, again, those things keep limiting your awareness and isolating you to all these cofactors, and it's like, who cares? You just eat the food your body's designed to eat. Keep it simple. Work on your spirituality. You know, of course, if you're taking off into this, I understand that, and you can play with those things well, but don't let the diets sometimes shift you away. You know, like the macrobiotic diet. Let me tell you, I've never seen anyone healthy. There's been a lot of people that cured themselves of different things with the macrobiotic diet. That shows you how easy some things are to cure. When you can cure anything with a macrobiotic diet, that problem wasn't that deep, and, you know, it shows you. But there's nothing, to me, actually sane about macrobiotics. I disagree with most of their theories. We are a living food people. We don't see the theories that they cast. And I was telling you, in Portugal, in Lisbon, in these symposiums, all these top macrobiotic healers did not look robustly healthy. Their skin was charcoal gray. We saw my whole crew noticed that. And I was commenting on, that's macrobiotics. Take a look at the skin. Take a look at the lack of vibrancy in that person. And that's what you see. You don't see lack of vibrancy with raw foodists, but you certainly do. You might see Gaunt, and you might see, like Victor and some of these people on the road, but you got to understand that there's a long road sometimes between where you are and Wellville. That you just got to keep walking down the road, not judge and others, and you just keep walking down the road yourself. And then if someone wants to walk with you, okay. If not, okay. They're going to walk as far as they can, but don't let anything stop you. You just keep walking down that road until you're so good, you're hollering, balance, I need balance. Talk to one of you guys that are strictly fruitarian. She's so up there now, she can't even eat acid fruits now. She's just way up there, and we were talking about how do we bring her back down a little bit. Because there's another side of this that we haven't got into yet, because some of you need to get way up there. When you do, it's an amazing journey. I know Durian Ryder eats a lot of bananas, which are heavy fruit. Yeah, they're considered the meat of the fruit. I think I told you I had a 3-doctorate professor in Canada once invited me to speak and was talking to me about the banana. And he studied the banana all his life, 3 doctorates, banana, blueberry, and potato. I considered him one of really the foremost authority, because if you spend all your life and you have 3 doctorates, pretty much you've ripped the banana apart inside and out. And I really believe that's the meat of the fruit. I just think that, a banana should be all yellow, including the stem. And if you have a few brown spots, okay. Outside of too many brown spots, now you can tell that it's pushing over to fermentation. But too green, and you can feel that's not good either. And so it's just learning when to get your fruit the right ways and stuff like that, of course. But in forms of detoxification, I've never fasted on a banana fast. Never considered it a detoxifying food. I considered maybe the meat of the fruit. Some fruit act like the meat side, a little heavier, a little more starchy, blah, 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 blah. The watery fruit has a more detoxification effort to it, I think you could basically say. But nothing wrong with eating them. A banana with medjool date, can't beat that combination. Woohoo! Can't beat that combination. Woohoo! Oh boy, D. Ryder's going to be on this video hardcore. Love to great men about to debate. All right, let's debate. Dano, you guys, so it is healthier to be cooler than hotter? I think it's healthy to be in the middle. Throw that curveball, you little zen at you there. Really, the middle is the balance. Like a teeter-totter. Here's cold, here's hot. Everything in the middle. Consciousness, everything in the middle. The middle path. Buddha talked about the middle path in his work. And basically he was saying, don't jump on either side. That's duality. You want to know what consciousness is. And, People are coming around, that's for sure. But I hope I've given you enough tools to debate with. I'm going to keep giving you a bunch of tools to debate with because, you know, you can't get around the fact of the design of the human body, both anatomically and physiologically. You can't get around that. You can't go and judge what man's doing and say that's what we should be doing, or what he did 1,000,000 years ago, that's what we should be doing. Get away from that kind of crap thinking. You can understand that man did some journeys, and the journeys weren't absolutely the way. I mean, he did them, and you can say, well, that's the way it should be. Absolutely. But how is it then that we have to get up to these high level of fruitarian diets to cure anything? I mean, to really have a good cure. And this is especially true, remember, neurologically. You're not going to cure yourself neurologically on vegetable matter very well, I guarantee you. Been too many years doing it. So I can just tell you that when you see the level of fruitarian sometimes you have to be to get well, some of you advanced cases, you start to realize that when you step down from that, you won't feel as well, but you'll still feel healthy and good, but you'll never feel as well as a fruitarian diet. There's just nothing like it. Not advocating it, but I'm saying that in the future our young people want to be frugivores. They want to work themselves to fruitarianism, and we want to have the fruits to feed them. Now you're going to have a mega high-level consciousness planet, but not sure that that's dubbed this planet's for that, to be honest with you. Most people that are elevated themselves, they generally take off and leave and go on to their next adventure, been done with this place. So I don't know. You know, I have no judgment there with God. You know, whatever you want this place to be, okay. I'm just here as a channel to help bring out love and health, peace, you know, all that good stuff. Why is cinnamon bad for us? I don't think cinnamon's bad for us. I use cinnamon all the time, especially for digestive problems and inflammation, especially in the gut. When people call me, good for blood pressure and blood sugar. I don't know why people would find cinnamon bad. I don't. One low blow, Dr. Morris forgot to mention, I've had two, count them, 2 VT ablations, and they are talking about wanting to do another. Well, you know, I suggest you get a heart implant. No, you know what, get your parathyroid up, get your adrenals up, keep moving that lymph, okay? Just keep doing all those things. You need to get calcium utilization going. You need to get your adrenal neurotransmitters up. That gets the autonomic nerve up, strengthens the myelin sheath. Of course, calcium utilization also brings the nervous system in proper function, particularly in the heart. If the nervous system in the heart is being suppressed by the lymph system. Now you see this when you're real tight in the shoulders and stiff and sore. You can start getting numb fingers. Same thing in heart. Same thing anywhere else. Swelling is a product of acidosis, and then hardness and that sort of thing, and that can impress upon blood and lymph, blood and nerve flow in any tissue. So it goes back to the lymph again. So it's just getting that lymph under par. You can use herbs and things to rebuild nerves, to rebuild other things, but you really have to address the biggest causative factor we face, and that's the lymph and acidosis. Handle that, and then you can rebuild any tissue that's genetically compromised or whatever. You can deal with that much better. Because if you're trying to rebuild a heart in an acidic medium, or you're trying to rebuild a nerve flow in an acidic medium, or you're trying to rebuild liver tissue, brain tissue in an acidic medium, good luck. You know, you're going to be slow, and the progress will be slow. You could get progress, though. I've seen people slam the herbs and get progress even though they half did the diet. But in reality, moving that lymph is everything to getting this acidosis or inflammation out of these areas so the body can rebuild these tissues. Then you can help these tissues accelerate their rebuilding with specific herbs. That's the end thing, and all modalities need to come up with us and sit around and join us at the campfire, and let's kick some butt on this planet and make it a good place to live now. There's too much hate. Governments just step aside. This government's just got to step aside. All governments are just gotten too dictatorial, too we know everything and the people don't. You know, it's just that same thing as the kings taxing people to death until the people killed the king. And that's what's happening. People can keep paying more taxes. I can't imagine a party, a Democratic Party, even being in existence with the concept of spending more and taxing more. I can't imagine anybody voting for anybody that thinks that way. And that's how low of a consciousness half Americans are. Jesus. You can't believe it. Ron Paul, man, you're doing well, son. You're a little old, man. Get your health together because you could change the whole planet. You'd be a heck of a guy to do it, man. Throw your son up there. You know, I wish his son had ran. He would have won for sure. He's such a nice guy. One low blow 3. Thank you for taking the time to read my questions. Short history, 48-year-old male, cardiomyopathy, VTAC. Oh, is this a product of the other one? Well, this young man has had cardiomyopathy, AFib, which is atrial fibrillation, where the atrium of the heart's just fibrillating, and hopefully you get enough beats to the ventriculars to open up and move blood through the tricuspid and stuff. But then you got VTAC, means that's ventricular tachycardia. That means these lower ventriculars of the heart is racing. VTAC is what you see when you're about to have a myocardial infarction or you're about to go down with a heart attack. Not good. That's not good at all. Heart blocks. Okay, you got first degree, second degree, third degree heart blocks. Not good either. That's when you start seeing your beats getting further and further apart. I saw a 6-second heart block once. I used to do EKGs and stuff, and I saw a 6-second heart block. You talk about freaky. Oh, man. Combo pacemaker defibrillator. Now, I can see why. Paced 100%. Holy crap. That means his atrial fibrillation isn't, meaning his atrium, which is the top chamber in the right, it's just sitting. That's where from the what they call the SA node, the sinus node, you get that electrical impulse that opens up that valve. Well, when the SA node, maybe a lot of acidosis from lymph and all that's breaking down that SA node, but you're getting firing all over the place in the atrium instead of from the sinus node. So now, if none gets through and dilates that, opens up that valve, you don't get any blood moving down into the ventriculars, down to get back to the lungs to get oxygenated. So you wouldn't be oxygenating your blood. And then you would be backing up your venous system, which has some degree of acidosis from the collection of some stuff. So yeah, big problem. His heart rate is so low he has to be paced. Most pacemakers are set at 60 heart beats per minute. His ejection fraction is 35%. Chronic anxiety, PTSD, deadly afraid to be shocked by device. No kidding. That's cardioversion there when they, the paddles, clear, had a lot of that. Well, that's what you do to cardiovert someone from AFib back to sinus rhythm, normal sinus rhythm. Down 25 pounds from 205 to 180 in 2 months. No meat, dairy, bread for 2 months. 2 fruit meals day going on 3rd week. I take your nerve, brain, lymph 1, adrenal, kidney herbs. Have appointment with you in April. Biggest problem is I'm very short of breath with minimal exertion. Thank you. Please help. Oh man, holy crap. Okay, first of all, I would suggest doing this. Get into the 3-lung tea. Take the lungs 2 formula. Now that's just going to start cleaning out the lungs. This is an oxygenation problem. I realize that. You really want to get on the kidney formulas. You want to get on the adrenal gland formulas. I would say probably you might want to do both, a desiccated adrenal glandular and the adrenal gland. Depends what your blood pressure is. It could be high with someone with a kidney weakness and adrenal weakness at this level. Could be high. When it's down, you can take the herbal adrenal thing. Just definitely work on the parathyroid. You need calcium utilization very, very bad. So you want to get that up. Move lymph, get your calcium utilization up there. Very important. Again, get your adrenals up for the autonomic. That's the nervous system that deals with the heart. Get your kidneys up, of course. Get that lymph filtering. Move that acid out of your tissues here. At the same time, I want you to clean your lungs. Also, work on your GI tract. This is the autonomic nervous system. This is a creator of many heart problems, is your gut. So you want to clean your gut up, your GI tract. You really want to work on that. Work on the lymph. and you'll pull yourself out of that. Get on the raw, get on some green drinks and stuff like that, and start moving that lymph. I'd also recommend circulation lower. We take our heart formula, it'll strengthen the heart muscle, it's good for arrhythmias, and work in that way, and you'll be okay. All right, you got a lot of things going on here, man, but you got to go to the endocrine glands first and clean up the lungs, clean up the bowels, clean up the kidneys, get the lymph moving, get those adrenals up, and you'll be okay. You don't have to fear. We're here for you, man. So call up Jennifer and have her help you here if you need it, because pretty serious case here. You'll be okay, man. Love the vids. Could you do one on salt, good or bad, types, etc., etc.? Oh, 6-string. Well, you know, we try to push the Celtic, Himalayan, or real salt. Obviously, a robust salt. There's been wars fought over salt, of course. The sodium chlorides of regular table salt and sea salt, not into those kind of salts. You don't need to overdo the sodium and chloride issue. Not at all. You can use it as an alkalizer, but not really. I mean, we throw people with skin problems like psoriasis in the ocean out here, of course, really helpful in that way. So saltwater baths are very helpful to skin problems and alkalizing. You know, sodium's a good alkalizer, but remember, you want to do it the right chemical way where you're bringing in all the family members so the body can utilize the way it wants to. The adrenal glands, of course, is where you're going to go for sodium-potassium balances, so that's important. And, you know, I would do minimal. If you have a salt desire, you know you have adrenal weakness. If you crave salt, that's straight up adrenal gland weakness. I would shift that. If you have to have some salt in your life, I would shift to seaweed if you can. Dulse or kelp would be a great substitute for salt. If you can stand that taste, then by all means I would go to kelp for sure. I mean, now you got extreme power food. Kelp is a superfood, and that one would be highly advisable. Matter of fact, it'd be advisable with that the gentleman with the heart issues, particularly for picking up the thyroid and parathyroid gland. I'd be interested to do your basals and other checks on you, man. But anyway, I like Himalayan, Celtic salt, real salt. They're all, you know, all these salt lamps. I had a lady in yesterday from the Salt Cave in Cape Coral, Florida. She has a salt cave. I forget how many tons of salt she said, but it's pretty good stuff. So all that's helpful. You know, we run salt lamps all in the office here. We don't know. I mean, we can tell there's salt being broken down, so maybe it helps to alkalize the air a little bit. Who knows? You know, a lot of claims on everything, but you know, but I like them. They're pretty. But still, I wouldn't overdo the salt, though, to be honest with you, but I'm not opposed to some robust salt, meaning heavily mineral. And Celtic salt, I've seen the stats on that, and that's got all the traces and micro traces in it. A little grayish-looking, darker salt because it's more minerally robust. So I would go that way. Hi, 6-string, how you doing? And I got to pull off of here because I'm now appointment time's coming. So I would go that way. Hi, 6-string, how you doing? And I got to pull off of here because I'm now appointment time's coming. Healthier be colder or hotter? I like the balance. I like the balance. So I am so, you know, I'm so far behind, and I appreciate you putting up with me, guys. I really do. Please have patience with me. I mean, we're working it. But I love all of you guys. You guys, there's nothing any better for me than to talk to a YouTuber because you guys are getting it. The awareness you guys are getting is just, you can't pay for it. I just love it. And the fact that we're working together as a team, I want to keep this site nice and pure. If you go out on a tangent with the meat and stuff, don't bring it here. You know, it's like bringing the dead dog in the house. You know, go out and do your things. But we're a seriously focused channel for getting well. And that's real important to do that, especially when you're dealing in brain cancers and you're dealing in other forms of cancer. Tell them, give them 5 minutes. Call me back in 10.
10.
Okay, and then I'll be ready. Thank you, honey. Sorry about that, but maybe they'll call back in about 10 minutes. I can wrap this up and we'll be good. So I hope they don't get too mad at me. But keep on going. Don't let anything interfere you. No eggs, no meat, especially those of you with cancer. Get on that path and stay on it. Don't waver. I'm just telling you. Remember this chart from the American Cancer Society in 1986. Do you see any meat or eggs on that one? That's from the American Cancer Society in 1986. That's an all raw food diet, boys. I'm just kicking it up another notch. Thank you so much, everybody. Have fun today, and I love y'all. Mwah. See ya.